What's up, everybody? Lawler here. Recently, I talked about the Just Win tournament put on by Johnnyboi, a $3,000 tournament where the games are best of ones and it is single elimination. You lose a match, you're out. $3,000 tournament, a lot of exciting results. Some not surprising, but the player I've been keeping my eye on, one that is extremely talented that made me actually swear in a video, which makes you guys know that they're good, almost went the distance. Pretty cool stuff. Let's talk about it. What's up, everybody? Lawler here, your inside source for all things Rocket League. Some fun stuff to talk about, more than just the tournament results themselves. We've been talking a lot and focusing a lot on where new talent comes from in the Rocket League scene. When it comes to the RLCS, where do these pros look for? There's a couple factors that come into play. Number one, obviously ranked. If there's a player that just keeps clapping you in ranked games, probably going to keep your eye and attention paid to them. Six mans is another popular one. And then every once in a while, you see show matches or other various events put on that grab the attention of you. In this case, Johnnyboi is the one that does this. And 1v1s have kind of been the go-to way where if this player is very talented at ones, they hold their own at ones, they know how to challenge the ball and provide space and steal tackle. And basically, they understand the core fundamentals of how to play Rocket League on an individual level. There is ways to translate that into 3v3s over time. And we've seen this happen with a plethora of talent over the past probably 2-3 years. And this is no different. The exciting thing about this tournament is a lot of the talent that is being sought after right now, players and teams that are trying to replace or try to find new talent out there, a lot of the better performing players are the ones that did really well in this tournament. So with that said, let's actually get into breaking down the tournament and how things went. There was 32 players and some who forfeited or couldn't make it or otherwise. And like I mentioned, this is a best of one, so you can actually see all the scores. And if Wojtek matter, if you want to showcase all of these at once, we don't really need to get into the specifics of any single match. My recommendation is if you see two that look entertaining, or if you see two names that you're like, wow, I want to see how that one played out, go watch it. It's definitely worth it. 1v1s are super entertaining. If I'm only watching a handful of them, they're probably my favorite thing to watch. But after like 3 or 4 of them, I'm like kind of bored. So I will say 1v1s are probably my favorite queue to watch and educate people on and showcase, just because there's so many little nuances and so many little things that you can pick up on, which are absolutely fantastic. So looking at this entire bracket, I kind of want to focus in more so on some of the upsets. Number one, Revsy beating O'Khalid. Pretty exciting thing, almost trying to do the impossible. He had to go through a gauntlet of matches. Joria is going to the grand final yet again. Joria is deemed to be probably one of the better ones, if not the best in 1v1s by many. Europe versus NA arguments, or NA versus South America, or Middle East, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Joria's is kind of contested as one of the best, if not the best, alongside his teammate and apparently Jack. On the other side of things, you are starting to see a lot of show matches from Drally or Drawley, I think. I forget how you pronounce it. My apologies. Putting up really good fights, beating people like AMS and Fairy Peak. I don't know how much time Fairy Peak has been putting into the game lately because of the offseason. I know he said he was taking a bit of a break, but Fairy Peak's a true competitor. He was always fantastic signing up for the Brawl right away. So Fairy Peak probably not too informed for 1v1s, but still puts up a really good fight. He also has a fight against Joria's. Both players having to fight a gauntlet. Joria's going up against TRK as well. You look at some of the other options. Apparently Jack going up against Cash. For some reason, Reziers does forfeit after beating Ashley, which is kind of weird to me. I would have loved to see that match play out. And then the other one that I really want to focus on is Oski. If you guys don't know, Oski was the 14-year-old that turns 15 in February that was playing alongside Liquid, and for good reason.
Like Drally is Canadian living in Morocco. A couple of dual nationality players. Oski backs up Daniel into the net. Heavy first touch off the wall, leaves a lot to be done, but Oski has done well. Oh my goodness. The finesse to pull this one back from an impossible angle is unreal. And yeah, that's going to be absolutely impossible to read from Daniels.
He makes it all the way to the grand final, and that's kind of the focus. Is I'm looking at these top 8 players, and you look at O'Khalid, you look at Joria's, Drawley, apparently Jack, Reziers, Oski, like really, really good players. And from multiple areas, some in North America, Canada with Drawley, which I totally forgot about. You've also got apparently Jack and Joria's, which them paired with Scrub Killa makes me so excited. I'm looking forward to Dignitas. It's really interesting to see how things are playing out. I do recommend watching the grand final significantly between Oski and Joria so you can kind of get a feel of Oski's playstyle. It's really unique, but also very textbook at the same time. I don't know. He just has a understanding of how to manipulate in the field side of things, where I need you to go to this place so I can go grab this thing. But Joria's has the creativity and the experience and showcases it here.
Just to keep pressure on Oski, to keep backing him up into his half. Here's Oski. High air dribble. Joria stays airborne. Gets a reset in defense to keep the ball away from danger. But Oski's established a huge boost advantage. Joria's in a bit in trouble here. Bumps Oski off the ball though and somehow turns it into a play for him. Wow. Joria's just powered through Oski, just flipped into him.
Very, very talented in this side. But biggest one that I recommend you guys go watch, Oski versus apparently Jack. That game is silly. I guess the scariest thing about it is the fact that it is literally a best of one single elimination. So like, you have an off day, you can't adjust, the person comes out and they just have a strategy or play style that's working better. You got to make those adjustments literally split second. You have to do it. And the nice thing about 1v1s is obviously the games take a long time. So like, you can hit 230 minutes and still have half a game left. And you're like, oh wow, there's been like 6 goals already, 7 goals already. I should probably realize and try to notice. And I think that's probably my favorite thing about ones, is if someone is recognizing like, yo, this guy's playing super aggressive, I need to pair that or match that. I need to go from slow challenging to pre-jumping air and hit this ball. Things like that. I think there's a lot of chess match to the fullest extent in 1v1s that I really enjoy. So huge advocate. Again, shout outs to Johnnyboi for running yet another fantastic event. It was himself, Tylacto, and Shogun that covered some of the matches. Shogun did a majority of the lower bracket. I don't know what Tylacto one covered, and then Johnny covered in whatever else. So pretty cool stuff all around. If you want links to any of those, you can hit the little eye icon. It'll pull up the timestamp. Click on that. It'll pull it up. Shout out to the guys over at Liquipedia. You guys work really hard, but pretty cool stuff. Again, a lot of players and a lot of talent coming from the 1v1 scene. Case in point, you can see the latest 1v1 event put on by Johnnyboi and a lot of the top names that are coming over. Your Reziers, your Oskis, Jolly when he's old enough. He's 13. You're going to see these people come over and take the scene. You've got your new versions of Scrub Killa coming in, and it's going to keep happening. So looking forward to the Daniels, looking forward to the Aquas, but even younger than that, you got Jolly and some others. So pretty cool stuff. If you guys do have any additional questions, comments, concerns, links to everything in the description down below to the bracket and everything else going on. But yeah, if you guys have any things you would like to add, any things you'd like to talk about, if you'd like a full detailed video about ones or something else or any suggestions, you can either ask them on my Sunday videos or leave them in the comments as always. And while you're down there, if you enjoy the content, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.